glorious home. I swear Gamlen painted with shit and beer.
Hard to believe they left me nothing.
Well, Mother was pretty steamed when you ran off with your Ferelden apostate.
I'm still their daughter, their eldest. My children have been in servitude for a year. They should be nobility.
If wishes were poppy, we'd all be dreaming.
You mean this is real? No wonder I can't wake up.
And here I thought that Ferelden you ran off with was a mage, not a jester. Your mother was supposed to marry the Comte de Launcey, and instead she ran off with some Ferelden apostate. You don't get to stay the favorite when you do that.
Where is Father's will? If I could just see for myself.
It's not here, all right? It was read, it went in the vault. No one needed to look at it again.
Did Grandfather mention Mother in his will at all?
Our father died when you were still in Pinafores, girl. You can hardly expect me to remember.
Oh, of course not. Why should you do something reasonable?
I know the Amels were nobility, Mother, but not much else. Why don't you ever talk about them?
The Amels have been a noble family in Kirkwall since Garahel drove out the Fourth Blight. But we've always carried magic in our blood. It's been a stain on our lineage. No family of good standing would ever marry into a line with magic. When I chose your father, I was bringing more magic into our line, not less. I think that's what hurt my parents the most.
Please, Uncle. We have a right to see it for ourselves.
Maybe so. But you won't be seeing the bloody thing. It's still locked up on the estate, and that's long out of my hands.
What daft bastard leaves that behind?
It was old news. You think I've been sitting here for 25 years waiting for Leandra to slink back?
Who bought the estate, Gamlen? Perhaps I could speak to them. Was it the Reinhardts?
No one you know. Get used to Lowtown, sister. That's where we're going to stay.
Maker, what a mess. I want to make things better for Mother. But some of what Gamlen says, I'm having a hard time hating him. Playing caretaker for someone else's life. Stuck in their shadow. That's no way to live.
Something you need to say?
Look, if you want to join the fight over who lost the most, fine. But I never lived here. Mother even gave me her old key to try and stir something. But I didn't know Grandfather. Finding his will doesn't matter to me.
You want a connection? This is where we'll find it.
The once mighty Amels? A bunch of slavers are squatting on that dusty glory.
What have you heard?
Uncle's a chatty drunk. He was up to his neck and signed everything over. That's who has the estate. Apparently, the most extensive wine cellar in Kirkwall is now a slave highway from the Undercity. That's the family legacy.
That sounds like an arrangement that needs to change.
And what if it does? We still aren't important enough to actually live in the place.
Baby steps, Carver.
All right, sister. If the key works, we'll clear the estate from the Undercity up.
They'll let anyone into Hightown these days.
Did you hear what Lord Barry said?
Kirkwall is going to the dogs, believe me.
How much longer do I have to wait? Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day.
Aveline!
Hello, Hawk.
Been a while, hasn't it?
What? Oh, right. Sorry. It feels like we just talked. I've been keeping an eye on you. Information is one of the few perks of this job. Watch out for Bertrand. He's a son of a bitch.
You know I don't like it when you have people watch me.
Saved me camping on your doorstep. After what we went through to get here, well, you're no child, but I take care of my friends. The places they have me patrolling, I've got time.
A person in your position. Seems like they might learn some profitable things.
You know better than to ask that.
One day you'll be frustrated enough to go for it.
It's like I'm sitting on my hands. There are dangerous people in this city. In fact, I might have a job for you. Let me know if you want to do a favor for Kirkwall. Otherwise, I'm here if you need me. Maker knows I could use more satisfying work.
This must be a very different pace from serving King Cailan.
I love that life. But there's a new king for a new Ferelden. Seems cocksure, but I guess he was there when the Archdemon fell. Can't fault an active hand. It's just one more change, though. The real end for me was Ostagar. What about you, Carver? You were there. Do you feel something similar?
No.
All right, then. Bit of a tit, your brother.
Seems like Kirkwall suits you.
It has been a challenge. Lots of opportunity, if you're the type the locals want.
Are you?
If you argue enough, you kind of convince yourself.
It's been a year settling in. Are you all right?
You don't need to coddle me. I am where I am. How close I hold my memories is my own business.
The Blight is over. You could go back to Lothering.
That wasn't home for me. It was just where the Horde pressed us. It wasn't the first village I saw fall. But you don't get used to people losing everything.
It's not how I wanted to say goodbye. I'll say that.
You can't go home again. That's supposed to be about maturity. It's not the same if you don't have the option.
All right, Aveline. You have something worth doing?
My patrols may be empty walks in the dark, but there's something big coming up, and I could use you. An ambush, probably for a caravan, although I can't find any shipments that match up. Doesn't matter though. Highwaymen waiting for someone to rob. I'm putting a stop to it, my district or not.
You've been nosing around outside your commission.
I have contacts, and they're complaining about a lack of meat. Thugs and such. Someone is hiring. And one or two were told to prepare for travelers. You want to be good at this job? You pay attention to what's missing, and when people arrange escape routes.
I'm no guard, Aveline.
There's only so many of us. Temporary recruits are expected time to time, as long as they're competent. You still claim to be competent, right?
Seems like you'd want to share this with your fellow guards.
I will, if you sit on your hands. I'll send my alerts, and someone else will lead a patrol. But there's profit and influence to be had. You're my friend, so I'm offering.
Do you have a name or anything else to go on?
Not important. If we show up and they attack, they're bad. Simple as that. I'll wager it's smugglers, though. Like I said, seems like an obvious trap for a caravan.
Aveline, you've got yourself a partner.
I knew I could count on you. They're hidden up Sundermount, remote and rough, but we can make good time with a shortcut this side. And no, you can't run off and do it without me. I trust you, but I have to be there. You're acting on behalf of the Guard. There might be some stragglers before the main group. Nothing we can't handle.
Of course we did.
We're close to the ambush, Hawk. Be ready.
There's our targets for the Kirkwall Guard! Stand down! Order will be restored!
Well equipped for bandits, but dead is dead and the road is clear. Captain Jevon needs to know of this. Back to the barracks for your just reward. There's Jevon's office. Wait while I explain our initiative.
I don't know how they do it where you're from, guardswoman, but I decide the patrols, not you and your whims. You may have been put up for lieutenant in your first year, but I'll have no show-offs in my command. Have I made myself clear? Report to your post before I have you and your Ferelden accomplice jailed.
Well, what a charming fellow.
I don't have to like him, but he could at least listen. Bandits are dead. That's all that should matter. It's not the first time he's made me wonder like this. Something is very wrong.
So let's find out whose toes you actually stepped on.
Then we should check the duty roster and see who was supposed to take that route. What have I stepped in this time?
Aveline! I owe you for clearing that ambush the other night. Saved me a mess of trouble.
Brennan, that route was yours?
It was. Single patrol. I'd have been dead for sure.
A lone guard isn't much of a patrol.
Shouldn't need to be. That route was clear for weeks. First noise out of it was your big fight. The captain reassigned me after he heard what you did, and I passed the satchel to Donnic for his patrol tonight.
The satchel?
Pay and order assignments. Captain has us run deliveries to the outposts during light duty. It's usually just an updated copy of the roster. The satchel for that night was heavy, though. Anyway, thanks again, Aveline. You're a good one.
So the satchel gets heavy the same day we discover an ambush?
You're sure you want to pursue this? This is your superior we're talking about.
If a guard has been put at risk, a good captain would want to know why. And if he's not a good captain, I want to know why.
I bet there's a perfectly reasonable lie that explains why your captain arranged this.
I'd be willing to hear it, but not while a guard may be walking into a trap. Brennan said Donnic. A good man. Donnic. I've got his route. A night walk in Lowtown. Let's go make sure his quiet patrol stays that way. We can't waste time, Hawk. Guardsman Donnic is here somewhere. We must be getting close to the ambush. I'm not losing another guard to this mess.
Aveline? You're a beautiful sight.
Guardsman?
I mean, I was on patrol and they came out of nowhere. I took a few down, but there were too many at once. The captain said this route was supposed to be quiet. The seal of the Viscount. Office details, city accounts.
Valuable to a guild of thieves.
A sacrificial delivery with one of our own. Captain Jevon will answer.
Selling out his own? Forget guard, Captain. This man needs to be in government.
Not now, Hawke. Jevon needs to see how justice works. This goes to the office of the Viscount. This will be known.
How dare you! I am guard captain! I won't be treated like this! Ferelden, bitch, this was none of your affair! I'll see you hanged, quartered! This will not stand!
We found a number of debts to suspect peoples. Such poor character. But you, Aveline Valen, have proven your loyalty and ability.
The Guard deserves better than him, Messer.
Indeed. The Viscount would have you put your care for the men into direct practice. You will assume the captain's job.
What?
In due time, of course. There will be training, approvals, months at least. But who better to rebuild respect than the woman who exposed this embarrassment? Resolve any outstanding business, guardswoman. You will be very busy.
That's a fact, is it? Think about it. Why would it start in Ferelden? A dirty backwater full of dogs and the occasional sheep. It took decades for the other Blights to run their courses. This one? Less than 2 years, don't you see? It never happened. It was all a Ferelden ploy.
So, here's the thing. We need to find a way into the Deep Roads. Bartrand can lead us to the right place once we're down there, but we need a good entrance.
I fought Darkspawn, but I've never been to the Deep Roads.
Fortunately, I've received some new information. There's a Grey Warden in the city. If anyone knows how to get down there, it'll be him.
Why would a Grey Warden know that?
The Wardens don't just fight Darkspawn. They forge into the Deep Roads all the time. And if he doesn't know, he might be able to point us to those who do.
Are there any other options?
None at the moment. Bartrand had an entrance lined up, but it was a bust. I'll keep looking, but if we don't find something, we'll have a fancy expedition with nowhere to go.
Sounds like you have it all planned out, Varric.
And that, Messer, is why I'm here. Supposedly, this Grey Warden came in with some other Ferelden refugees not long ago. A Lowtown woman named Lorene has been helping the Fereldans. We talk to her. Maybe we learn where he is. I'll keep after my contacts, see if I can drum up any other work.
Where are you going, darling?
I'll be back, don't you worry.
Stop looking at me.
What's your issue now, Little Hawk?
Don't call... Just don't, all right? You're looking for fodder for your stories.
Do you think you're that interesting?
I have enough trouble being overshadowed as it is. I don't need to get caught under an imaginary me, too.
Don't you worry. I'm not in the business of lullabies or children's stories.
Heights of Mount Davros is travelled. A pouch of Andraste's ashes. Verified by the scholar Genitivi. These ashes...
Will everyone please just step back? My mother's in labor. The baby's come early. Send word to the healer, but...
My son's hurt bad. Cart overturned on him in the blasted bone pit.
Everyone in your turn. I promise we have donations coming in. There will be food and medicine for all of you. If you're seeking aid, leave your name with my girl. We serve everyone here. No one came from Ferelden without trouble. But I can't give priority to anyone who's already found work and lodging.
Is there a way I can assist these people?
If you've coin to spare, we won't turn it down. Donations go in the box up front. Anything else?
I hear you know where I can find a Ferelden Grey Warden.
Only Ferelden Grey Warden I've heard of is sitting on the throne. We're out of the Blight's path now. Why would you need a warden?
The healer was one of them once, wasn't he? A warden?
Well, he's not now, and busy enough without answering fool questions about it.
Then I'll only ask very smart questions.
I do not joke, Sirrah. You see what our people face in Kirkwall. They have no jobs, no homes. Most can barely buy bread. This healer, he serves them without thought for coin. He's closed their wounds, delivered their children. He's a good man. I won't lose him to the blighted Templars.
You mean he's a mage?
Would I stick my neck out for some purveyor of hensbane and leeches?
Oh, perish the thought. Another delicate mage flower.
He doesn't want to be locked in the gallows just for using the gifts the Maker gave him.
Your healer is in no danger from me.
Right. Perfectly safe if he cooperates.
I suppose it isn't my secret to keep. Anders has certainly been free enough with his services. Refugees in Darktown know to find the healer, look for the lit lantern. If you have need enough, Anders will be within.
I got 5 kids to feed. Where do I find work?
Hey, we heard you in there, asking about the healer. We know what happens to mages in this town, and it ain't gonna happen to him.
You want him safe? Don't pick fights with other Fereldans while the Templars are after us all.
Ferelden? But your clothes. I figured you for a Kirkwaller, sorry. Maker bless the rule of our King Alistair.
Fereldans, Free Marchers, all Shems are the same down here.
I have made this place a sanctum of healing and salvation. Why do you threaten it?
I'm just here to talk.
We're interested in getting into the deep roads. Rumor has it you were a warden. Do you know a way?
Did the warden send you to bring me back? I'm not going. Those bastards made me get rid of my cat. Poor Sir Pouncelot. He hated the deep roads.
You had a cat named Sir Pouncelot in the Deep Roads.
He was a gift. A noble beast. Almost got ripped in half by a Genlock once. He swatted the bugger on the nose. Drew blood, too. The blighted warden said he made me too soft. I had to give him to a friend in Amaranthine.
I've always heard that joining the Wardens is for life.
That's only partly true. The hopelessly tainted by the Darkspawn and plagued by nightmares about the Archdemon parts don't go away. But it turns out if you hide well, you don't have to wear the uniform or go to the parties.
So you came to Kirkwall just to escape the Wardens?
You say that like it's a small thing. Yes, I'm here because there's no Warden outpost, no Darkspawn, and a whole host of refugees to blend in with. And some reasons of my own.
I'm part of an expedition into the Deep Roads. Any information you have could save people's lives.
I will die a happy man if I never think about the blighted Deep Roads again. You can't imagine what I've come through to get here. I'm not interested... Although... a favor for a favor. Does that sound like a fair deal? You help me, I'll help you.
Let's be more specific. I don't do anything involving children or animals.
I have a Warden map of the depths in this area. But there's a price. I came to Kirkwall to aid a friend. A mage. A prisoner in the wretched gallows. The Templars learned of my plans to free him. Help me bring him safely past them, and you shall have your maps.
Tell me about your friend.
His name is Karl Thekla. He was sent here from Ferelden, when Kirkwall Circle required new talent. His last letter said the Knight Commander was turning the Circle into a prison. Mages are locked in their cells, refused appearances at court, made tranquil for the slightest crimes. I told him I would come.
Are these accusations true?
Ask any mage in Kirkwall. Over a dozen were made tranquil just this year. The more people you ask, the worse the rumors become.
What do the Templars know of your plans?
I don't know. I had been exchanging notes with Karl through a maidservant in the gallows. Then the letters stopped coming.
You want to make your friend an apostate?
That's such a weighted term. Yes, Andraste said magic should serve man, not rule him. But I've yet to find a mage who wants to rule anything. It goes against no will of the Maker for mages to live as free as other men.
Forcing mages into servitude is not the way to prevent the rise of another Imperium.
That's not usually the response I get. Perhaps we will work together better than I expected.
How do you plan to break him out of the gallows?
I'm hoping it won't come to that. I sent Karl a message to meet me in the Chantry tonight. Maker willing, he'll be there, alone. But if there are Templars with him, I swear I'll free him from them, whatever the cost.
I would help any mage in such circumstances. Map or no.
Better make this good. We're risking a lot if we anger the Templars.
I welcome your aid. I have already sent word for Karl to meet me in the Chantry tonight. Join us there, and we'll ensure that no matter who is with him, we all walk away free. I saw Karl go inside a few minutes ago. No Templars so far. Are you ready?
I didn't see anyone suspicious out here. Let's do this fast.
All right. I'll handle the talking. You watch for Templars. When we find Karl, just let me talk to him.
Anders, I know you too well. I knew you would never give up.
What's wrong? Why are you talking like...
I was too rebellious, like you. The Templars knew I had to be... made an example of.
No!
How else will mages ever master themselves? You'll understand, Anders. As soon as the Templars teach you to control yourself. This is the Apostate.
No!
You will never take another mage as you took him.
Anders, what did you do? It's like... you brought a piece of the Fade into this world. I had already forgotten what that feels like.
I thought the Tranquil were cut off from the Fade forever.
When you're tranquil, you never think on your life before. But it's like the Fade itself is inside Anders, burning like a sun. Please, kill me before I forget again. I don't know how you brought it back, but it's fading.
Carl, no.
Maybe we can find a cure.
Can you cure a beheading? The dreams of tranquil mages are severed. There is nothing left of them to fix.
I would rather die a mage than live as a Templar puppet.
The Tranquil I've met seem content with their lot. Maybe it's not that bad.
You have no idea. Your emotions, your dreams, everything stripped away on someone's whim. If I were made tranquil, I would wish for a friend compassionate enough to kill me. Carl, I'm sorry.
Now, it's fading. Why do you look at me like that?
Goodbye. We should leave before more Templars come.
So, let me guess. This is the part where you tell me you're an abomination?
You're wrong. But not far wrong. This is hard to explain. When I was in Amaranthine, I met a spirit of justice who was trapped outside the Fade. We became friends, and he recognized the injustice that mages in Thedas face every day.
And that's different than a demon.
Just as demons prey on the deadly sins of mankind, there are good spirits who embody our virtues. Spirits of compassion, fortitude, justice. They are the Maker's first children, and they have all but given up on us.
What does this have to do with your eyes glowing?
To live outside the Fade, he needed a host. I offered to help him. We were going to work together, bring justice to every child ever ripped away from his mother to be sent to the Circle. But I guess I had too much anger. Once he was inside me, he changed.
So, you have this spirit of justice living in your head?
It's not like that. He's gone now. He's part of me. It's not like we can have a conversation. I feel his thoughts as my own. Not even the greatest scholar could tell you where I end and he begins.
That really didn't look like a happy, benevolent spirit from where I was standing.
The Templars will think the same. We're friends with a monster.
Since when is justice happy? Justice is righteous. Justice is hard. But my anger, when I see Templars now, things that have always outraged me, but I could never do anything about, he comes out. And he is no longer my friend, Justice. He is a force of vengeance, and he has no grasp of mercy.
Can you bring him out at will?
No. He comes only when I've lost all power over myself. It's a madness, a frenzy. I only find out after what I might have done.
Can justice ever be separated from you?
I don't think so. The only way a spirit has ever been separated from a living host is by its death. The curse is of my own making. All I can do now is hope to control it.
So, that explains your whole sexy, tortured look.
Perhaps I should check a looking glass more often. My maps are yours, as am I if you wish me to join your expedition. I thought I was done with the Grey Wardens. But if you have any need of me, I will be waiting here.
Well, this looks like the place. If the cellars go this far, maybe we were important.
Duck on the fireball! Nice down.
Baker's Hawk. You do get results, don't you?
Get back!
Did that bastard
Everyone stay
get
still and try not to make any loud noises.
knew I should have slit his throat.
I'll deal with this. Let's finish my favorite part!
Take this! Ha! When's the fighting start? Bianca's starting to get bored!
We did. Of course we did. That has to be the vault. If there's anything to learn about the family, that's where it is. Done with that. So this is it. Grandfather's will. Let's just take it back to Mother and be done with it.
I don't think there's any point in delaying the news.
So I'm just saying, blood's blood and all, but you are taking advantage of my hospitality. It's only fair if you make something of a monthly contribution.
You sold my children into servitude. Now you're asking me to pay rent?
Maybe just put something towards food.
You should be paying us, Uncle. We found the will.
Grandfather left everything to Mother and us. I guess he had some sense after all. See for yourself.
I should... maybe...
To my daughter Leandra, and all children born of her, the estate in Hightown and all associated revenues.
Check out the part where Gamlen is left only a stipend, to be controlled by you.
Gamlen, how could you?
You're the one who ran away, Leandra. What happened to love is so much more important than money.
It is!
You didn't even come home for the funeral.
The twins were a week old.
We all have our burdens. Mine was looking after a life you abandoned. How long was I supposed to wait?
I doubt you let the ashes get cold.
I took care of Father. I stayed. And on his deathbed, all he could talk about was Leandra. Look, sister, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And there's nothing I can do to get it back.
I don't expect that, Gamlen. It's enough to know Mother and Father didn't die angry. I'll petition the Viscount for rights to reclaim the estate. Make a willing, you'll have your house back within weeks.
You don't have the coin or standing to even get an audience with the Viscount. You've got to be someone in this city to live in that house again.
Then I had better get started.
Hello, Lord Carver.
We're still a long way from cowing Templars with our titles, sister.
You could slap on a smile for a few days. For her sake.
She's not interested in what I think. She wants to provide for us, and you're making sure it happens. And when we're done, I don't know, I guess we'll sit around thinking about how great we used to be. Mother didn't even want that life back until we got dumped here. And you only care because we're under Templar scrutiny.
Very well, Carver. What's your plan?
I'd look forward. Make something new. Stop paying debts for old men. And if I had to go backward, I'm not looking for ancient names. I'd fix what's important. What went wrong.
We can't just go back.
We wouldn't need to if you'd done it right. Lothering was our home, not this place. We could have stood our ground. You could have stopped that ogre from killing Bethany.
You're right.
What?
I'd change all of that if I could. But we don't have that option, and you know it. Well, good talk.
Sister. I feel... I don't know. It's like Mother taking everything out on us. She was just scared. I don't have a place in the life she is trying to bring back. I'm here if you need me. But I must find my own way.
So, what? Are you here to gloat? Gamlen's the idiot again. Gamlen's the fool who can't hold his money when it's given in a bloody silver basket. I tried, you know, when Leandra left. But no one was ever going to live up to her.
I've seen the nobles in this town. Your parents must have had a fortune. Where did it all go?
Well, it's not like I stood at the side of the wharf and hurled it over. I tried to invest it. I got some good tips on trade in Kunari cheeses. And, you know, a man's got needs. I'm not denying I spent more on myself than I should have, but I figured it'd all work out.
What was she like? As a girl?
We're only a year apart. But that was time enough for Leandra to get our parents wrapped firmly around her little finger. They showed her off at every opportunity. The beauty, the scholar, the light of their lives. As far as they were concerned, they should have stopped there.
So, the best way to make Daddy love you was to steal his money?
I changed their filthy sheets and wiped their chins through 2 bouts of the cholera, and the last word Father said was... Leandra. I'm not looking for love. But at least I got the money.
When I told your grandmother I was marrying your father, she threatened to disown me. She said my children would be mongrels. My father wanted to lock me in, but she told him it's her life, let her ruin it. I wrote to her when each of you were born. She never wrote back. I'm glad she didn't die hating me.
The estate is yours. Why are we still here?
Technically, the house is now property of the Viscount, since its owner died without an heir. If we went there now, we would just be squatters. But if the Viscount acknowledges our rights, we can get back more than the house. We can get back our name.
Grandmother didn't want you to leave. She tried holding on to you the only way she knew.
She would have been so proud of you. You're everything she wanted in an Amel grandchild. She might have had a hard time accepting it at first, but she would have loved you, all three of you. Oh, Bethany. She was such a sweet little girl. Never cried, just looked at you with those big eyes.
She was so young to be taken from us.
I just keep thinking there's something we could have done. It's killing me. I remember that awful creature reaching down and 18 years of loving and feeding and raising and... that was it.
Blame the Darkspawn, not yourself.
The Darkspawn would have been happy with any prey. It was my fault it was Bethany. I miss her. There were 4 of us when the Blight began. It will never be over while there are just 3. I've written to the Viscount. I've an audience for after Bartrand's expedition leaves. I couldn't do anything for Bethany, but with luck, I can at least give us a home.